Yo, what? My camera's not working now. Jesus
No,
Christ.
it's not me.
Okay.
What? Oh, there
I'm
it is.
here. I arrived.
All right.
What's up, dude?
All right. Welcome. How you doing? Welcome to the new meta episode 37.
Yeah.
Super awkward intro. My name is ThaPChild.
Smooth as butter. I am Lord Fluffy.
Nailed it. How you been, man?
I mean, look at me. I am literally covered in like dry. I mean, it looks like I have crack cocaine all over me, basically. Like I just gotta have a Scarface scene.
Confirmed, guys. Fluff is now a crackhead.
Yep.
And that's where he's been.
That's it now, boys.
That's where he's been.
It's
so you're learning to do drywall, huh? Sounds amazing.
Yeah. I'm learning how to do all sorts of things that I never really wanted to do.
That's cool. We have a little bit of things to talk about this week. We got some Diablo stuff. Remember that game Diablo? You used to play it a while back?
No, I don't remember it.
No?
No, damn it.
Yeah. So we have a straw poll from last week. Do you got that bad boy? Ready to go?
Yeah. Here we go. Got it. So last week we asked, what cosmetic would you be most excited for? Option 1, alternate spell effects. 2, more character transmogs. 3, additional stash space. And 4, different pet types. What do you think the results are before we click? I mean, I got to vote. I got to vote on stream. So
I'm gonna say the pets that pick up stuff.
Pets to pick up stuff. What would you want though? You think so? The pets pick up is your pick for win. But who?
I think that's gonna be the win. I think the pets that pick up DBs and gold, etc. I think that.
What do you want? What do you want?
Oh, what do I want personally?
Yeah.
Ooh, baby. All of them. It's really hard for me to pick, man. I would say probably character transmogs.
Oh, okay. I'm surprised over the stash space because, like, you say that.
I do want stash space, but I don't know, man. Character transmogs would be cool. I'm assuming we're talking a lot, like, vast amounts of. I can change my shit all the time.
Just a pair of blue wings.
If it's one pair of wings, give me the pets. If it's like one item, I'll take the pets.
I'm gonna go with alternate spell effects. Locking in the vote. Different pet types, slaughtering the other ones.
Yeah, I knew that would be the case.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's crazy. There you go, Blizz. You want to make some extra free money. CEO, you want to go buy a private island. Just throw some pets in there.
I'll be like that.
We got a different poll for right. We have another poll for this week, so we can check the YouTube comment section below or Discords and chat. You can take it now. Boom! Check that bad boy out.
What would you rather see for a seasonal theme? Option 1, extra weapon slot in cube. 2, new legendary gem. 3, season of COE. 4, season of Paragon cap.
Interesting. Can't wait to see the results for this.
Yeah.
I wish there was another section where people could write in answers.
Sure.
But,
I mean, people
man.
Yeah.
They
post on the YouTube.
Get in our Discords or Twitters or YouTubes and tell us your ideas for the seasonal themes. It'd be cool to just throw the ideas out there in case, Blizzard's watching and maybe they'll be like, ooh, that's a pretty cool idea.
Right.
So
I can't help but think it's going to be the weapon. But I mean, COE would be really easy to do also.
I think COE is the most likely. I think the weapon could end up being crazy broken, especially for Lon. Lon's so powerful right now as it is. Ooh, that'd be dirty. But speaking of Lon, like Season 16 has been going for, it'll be 2 weeks this Friday, I believe. Is right? And the leaderboards are starting to get some numbers in there. It's still super early to say these are final, but scrape together some of the numbers. And if you look at example, Barbarian, the top clear so far is a 118.
Yeah.
All top 5 barbs are doing IK6 R4 charge barbs. That surprises me a little bit. I kind of expected to see some Rancor on there, but I haven't played it this season, so I don't know. I guess the charge bar must be
I mean, it's
in a
Rorg
great
more than
spot,
anything because
man.
you can wear Band of Might instead of Rorg, and that
Yeah.
makes it so much better to play. Like so much better to
Yep.
play.
Yep.
Uh,
So this is kind of like a seasonal push. I think
Right.
that'll probably drop off.
It's gonna
when
be
the
really
season hits.
unfortunate for the people that absolutely fall in love with this setup, and then they're never
I've been
gonna
thinking
be able
that
to do
too,
it
man.
again.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Honestly, that I really like this seasonal theme as much as it. I don't think it was like crazy outside the box, but it's actually kind of fun, and I like the power that it's given us.
Yeah.
And then we had Crusader. Crusader did a 117. But the cool thing about Crusader is rank 1, 2, and 3 are all different sets. Hammerden, Condemn, and Rollins in that order.
Right.
And I think, I think those guys in the top slots could probably push any of the three. It would just depend on what gear you got.
Sure.
More than anything. So that's pretty cool, man. I'm glad to see that Crusader got a little love. And
Yeah, I hope to see that diversity continue, though.
Yeah, you don't have to push Condemn,
Right.
at least not yet. So pretty cool, man. That makes me excited.
Yeah.
Demon Hunter. What do you think, man? What do you think the top 5 in Demon Hunter are?
I mean, everyone's playing Impale, but it is week 2, so I would hope that maybe people have moved on.
It's 119 is the top.
Okay.
Rank 1, 3, 4, and 5 are Impale. Rank 2 is N6 M4.
Okay.
So there's
many
one.
people
There's
playing.
one.
Look at these boards. The lowest is a 109. That's rank 1000. That's how fucking
the
OP
lowest
Impale is right now. It's insane.
The rank 109 is the bottom, and I'm gonna jump a little bit and just say that rank 111 is the top for Necro right now. How crazy is that? How crazy is that? We're gonna get into that. We'll talk about that though. So Monk, Monk is in his wave of light, all the way the top 5. 117 is top.
I'm surprised that
So-
Lawn Wave of Light. I guess people are still trying to get good gear.
And then we just talked about Necro. 111 is the top, and it's all Lawn Corpse Lance. It's not Pestilence anymore.
I mean,
Cold Lance.
yeah. So
Still
you
Cold
could
Lance,
definitely do Cold Lance this high, this early with that Paragon.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
And it's stupid too because like Lawn Corpse Lance plays exactly like Blood Lance. I don't know if you played season 11 Necro.
I did a little bit.
Awful push build. So I'm surprised that people want to do that.
I think it's just because it's new.
Yeah.
I don't think there's that many people playing it, and I think just because it's new. And I also think that the top slots dictate the rest of the board. I think people go to the boards to see what set they should push with.
Sure.
And if they see Lawn Corpse Lance at the top, they're going to be like, oh, this is the best. I need to push this, even if it may not be the best.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, though. But 111 lets me think that I don't think that it's lack of power on Necro. I think it's lack of people playing Necro, personally.
Yeah. I mean, you have to
think it
take
has a
into
little to do.
consideration, like, so 111 might not seem like a lot, but Necro's like still on last season's power creep. You know what I mean? Or the last year.
111 is a good push. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You gotta put it in perspective. You're right.
So because the Necro didn't get any changes, we didn't get the power creep that every other class did. So I mean, this is high for us at this point in the season. But
I'm with you.
yeah,
I'm with you. So you can clearly see, and go to the bottom of that board real quick, of that Necro board. The bottom of the board.
80.
80.
I'm like
80,
speed. I haven't pushed yet. I'm speed farming, and I'm like 820 at 253.
Yeah. It's so funny. And then Witch Doctor, 118 is the top, and then they're all Jade Witch Doctors. All 5 are Jade.
118.
Doesn't surprise me.
This early. That's crazy. Yeah.
Pretty powerful. And then we go to the big boy. Could you imagine if this didn't get nerfed a
Oh,
little
but we already
bit?
skipped. We already went Necro. Oh, what?
Wizard, a 120.
Is this long
Tau
start
Meteor
pack? No,
already.
Tal. Wow.
Tau Meteor. All top 5 are Tau Meteor builds.
I guess Lawn doesn't work
So.
solo, so never mind.
Yep.
But
So pretty
damn.
interesting. Pretty
Yeah.
interesting numbers. And then the
120? Week 2?
two man hasn't changed, right?
That's insane. Sorry, I'm just processing this because I haven't got to play as much as I want to this season. So it's
Yeah,
like
that's like a season ago or 2 seasons ago. That's more than pretty much anybody's
at late
push for
season.
the
Yeah,
entire three
it's like
months.
top
So-
10
so-
late push.
yeah, top 10 late push, if not higher
Top
than top 10.
five. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So it's pretty nuts, man. And then the 2-player boards haven't changed from last season. It's still Monk Wizard.
Yeah.
I'm Star Packed
Monk,
Wizard
Star Pack with
Monk.
119.
Yep. And then the three
smaller, clear.
Yeah. The 3-player boards, you got Monk Barb Wiz and then Monk DH Wiz, which is
Cool.
surprising to see a little bit of variance there, but 121s for both of them, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then the 4-player is the same. It's the
Tell
Star
still.
Pack.
I mean, it will be long, I bet.
It'll be long eventually, I think, but 134 week 2.
Damn.
That's pretty crazy.
insane.
Man.
That is
That's crazy.
freaking insane. Then you gotta
We
think
did
that how
some-
far that's gonna push the solo boards up faster too, because being able to get like your main gems,
Their gems and just
that's
man.
insane.
We were doing on stream. I grabbed random people. It wasn't an organized team. I don't know the capability of the people I had on my team. I just randomly grabbed them, and we did some 110s and with minutes to spare already and some of the people on the team were like 800 Paragon. So it's juicy, man. I don't know. It's fun to play, I guess. It's got to be rewarding to be a Star Packed Wizard and just watch the entire pack of trash blow up in one meteor,
Yeah.
So I can imagine if you had a coordinated team that was on voice chat that played together all the time, I would think that you could probably get to 120s in a couple days if you guys played together in your I think a lot of the push is based on the meteor Wiz, the Star Packed Wiz. The Star Packed Wiz can do his rotation extremely well, and the Barb can scout well. I think it's pretty sick.
So like
it's fun, though,
immediately, what pops in my head? So I'm looking at Monk, I'm looking at Wiz, and Wave of Light for Monk, which it sucks for Monk and it sucks for Wiz and Monk really that the most powerful build is just like another version of what was already powerful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, and then now because of that old set is not going to be played anymore. Like Firebird's not going to be played on Wizard, and Sun Wuku probably isn't going to get played a lot on
just
Monk.
for speeds,
Just for speed. At least for speed for that. Firebird, it's probably just a piece, dude.
It's just nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind that so much as long as they did a rotation. Like if we got a balance patch every other season, so every other season those sets would switch out, that'd be cool. But we've had the conversation before.
Sure.
I really think that sets shouldn't share skills.
Yeah.
Wave of Light and Samwuko should not both. I mean, Inna's and Wave of Light or Samwuko should not share Wave of Light
For sure.
at all. They shouldn't touch
It
it.
should honestly be like whatever plays it better. So you look at Necro, you got Blood Lance and Cold Lance, and Cold Lance is infinitely better than Blood Lance could ever dream to be. So the clear solution is just to take Blood Lance out of the game to me. But
Yep. Yeah, and I agree with that 100%. So that would be the ideal world. Do you think we're going to get a legendary pass before everything's said and done?
what legendary pass?
Like a legendary pass of balance. Like how we got a set pass, a set balance pass. You think they're going to give us in the next season? I think we're going to get this balance
so
one more time.
Easy, because you take like these weapons that are already like kind of good, and you just add a damage modifier to them, and it's like, holy crap! Now we're talking.
Boom.
Now we're cooking. Like a Crider shot and just dumb items that are just going to be left in the dust.
I think we're going to get this balance patch for one more season with the new buff next season for whatever seasonal theme they decide to give us. And then I hope after that we get a legendary pass. And then potentially we ride that for 2 seasons and then another set balance or maybe even a skill rebalance at that point. But in the foreseeable, I mean, if they let us ride this for one more season and then we get a legendary pass, that's a good 6 to 8 months.
Right.
Maybe even more of content. And that's not that much effort, I don't think.
And then it's kind of stupid because they kind of did this wrong, this patch 264, because like this is a season of Rourke, and honestly, just that alone, it would have been pretty juicy with all the set bonuses, right? What they should have done is waited to buff Lon until next season. There was just no reason to buff Lon this season during the season of Rourke. I mean, everyone's like, I love Lon, but I get it. But that would have given them a lot more like
it's free content,
right?
Yeah, free content. So they could have drip feed us a little bit more. I'm with you on that, and that's one of the saving graces is that if you have a Lon set this season you really love, it's going to be fine next season, unless they do something, to break it. Like, we're going to back this off. The scary part is like we were talking about season, 2 weeks into the season and people are already in the 135 range.
Right.
It's like, crap, man. What's how can they power creep anymore and not push us into the 150s on week 2? Yeah. So they're either going to have to raise the cap, or I don't know how you can fix it, because you can't log into your character and have you doing a lower greater rift than before. Yeah. So they can't balance patch, and it's like I go from doing a 120 to going from doing a 95 again.
Right.
People would stop playing. So they have to raise the cap. Maybe they just nerf numbers of everything and just trick us, So it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know how they fix that, but they got a problem on their hands coming up soon.
I mean, it's smart-ish to have. Like, I always thought like it's kind of dumb to have a cap, but I guess like the cap makes it so that when people figure out like an exploit, like they can't break it. Like being able to
I think it's damage numbers too. Like breaking, I mean, you can trash the servers when you start pushing high now. I mean, you can completely lock the game up. Sure. We did it in the start of the season when they had a lot of load on the servers, and we also did it as soon as the patch hit. And, so I don't know. I don't know if they can continue to go past 150 and still have the stability they need. Sure. When you're hitting trillions and whatever,
But I mean, I think, would you rather them like not do it because like the servers can't handle it, or do it and we just suffer the consequences?
I don't know, man. It depends on how bad it gets, I guess. I mean,
how
frustrating would it be to lose clears?
10 more. Like,
yeah.
See what happens. If it locks up, then,
I think they could just, I don't think people are going to be as upset if it's like, last season I hit for 250 trillion, and this season I'm only hitting for 100 trillion. I don't think they care about that. I think what people care about is the greater rift they clear. So they could lower the damage numbers that you dish out and then just increase the greater rift. So it's kind of a fake power creep, so to say. And then maybe the servers can handle that. But I don't know, man. Hopefully they have some solutions up their sleeve.
Yeah. The dream.
But so do you think, I had some questions specifically for his Necro, since that's kind of your bread and butter.
Yeah, I made it.
Do you think that nobody's playing Necro? They need to buff Necro. Like, what's your thoughts on after seeing these leaderboards? How do you feel about Necro? Like, what do you think they should do?
It's super unfortunate. Like, you got a guy here that and a community behind him that plays a class like insane, and at the start of the season, they're like, we hear you. And so I went into great depth. I made a big old forum post. I made a video about it. I tweeted at them. I was like, hey, man, here's some really easy things you can do to spice up the Necro. And, it went ignored. So I'm not saying that I know best, but like there's some easy, quick wins you can do for the Necro to really spice things up and keep it exciting instead of just kind of leaving it in the dust. What it leads me to think is that maybe they have something in store coming up, and they just didn't want. I don't know. So they wanted like a grace.
Maybe they didn't want to rush it in time.
They wanted a grace period of Necro not being the best. Maybe I don't know.
Internal testing. It doesn't. The thing to me is that it doesn't make sense for them never to rebuff it, because Necro is a paid DLC.
It's the only way for them to generate revenue. Like, really.
Yeah, that's the only way they make revenue right now. Right. At least on PC. So I got to imagine it's going to get buffed at some point. Right. They're going to say, hey, you know what? In 2.6.5 for, season 17, we've addressed Necro a little bit. We buffed, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know, man. It's kind of interesting to see it.
At the same time, I think it's great.
That bottom slot.
Because, I did a rat run on Sunday. And I mean, it's still fucking crazy, and I mean, it's still powerful. It's just it's just lagging a little bit behind on that power creep that everyone else has got.
Yeah.
So,
And then, yeah,
is what it is.
it's cool. I don't know, man. The leaderboards are interesting right now. I'm really interested to see where they're going to pan out. With the shortened seasons, they may not, separate too much. But early guess, man. Who do you think's going to take the highest GR clear of the season?
I mean, the way it stands right now, Wizard. Oh my God, that's nuts. So, a 120 week 2. This never.
That's pretty nuts.
Yeah,
they got something like Barb and Crusader and Witch Doctor are right there. Monk, they're all within 2 or 3. So, but yeah, I don't know, man. I'm kind of with you. I think Witch Doctor. I'm kind of secretly pulling for Witch Doctor, just so, you can say. Witch Doctor went from the worst to the best in one season.
Be cool for them.
Be interesting.
But
so
yeah.
That's about
you know what I will say, to go back to the Necro question real quick, someone in the chat just brought it up because it made me think of it. Like, I tried to get a rat run together Sunday, and it was impossible. It was literally impossible. Like, to find a support Necro was just like the hardest thing in the world.
See, I've been able to, something that I've been trying to run, and I had a little success, and I stalled out at like 105. It was doing Z Necro, Glow Barb, and then 2 N6 M4s that replaced the Rat Necros with Reaper Reps. And it's fun to play, but unfortunately, it's just not as efficient as everything else out there, But it's a nice mix-up.
Yeah.
So I was able to get, the Z Necro and the support barbs to pull it off, but it's scarce, man. And Z Monks are really hard for me to find this season. I don't know if it's just my community's not playing them much, but it's like pretty, every day I'm asking for a little bit until Z Monk pops in chat. I'm like, oh, come here, buddy. Let's do it. So
yeah, I can't.
Interesting though, man.
Z-Neck, you want to talk about like people try to rat runs. Can you imagine like if you're a monk player wanting to do group XP meta, like you have to be so tired of support monk. Like it's been the same for like 2-3 years.
Ever.
Yeah.
It's been the same as long as I can remember.
Right.
I can't, at least season 9, I can remember playing the Wiz Z Monk combos back in season 9. So at least that far back, if not more.
How would you feel about them just completely killing support in general?
I'd be okay with it.
I would too.
I honestly don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. I think everybody, I think people would have more fun. I know there are people out there that enjoy playing a support, and that's cool. But everybody who plays Diablo wants to see big numbers. You want to blow stuff up, and you want to see those numbers.
Or ultimately, you want to play what you want to play too. And support definitely doesn't lend a hand towards that at all. Like
it's just like, okay, I'm gonna play Monk. I want to push Monk. I gotta play Z. Gotta play support to get the gear I want to push solo because I can't do a group damage. So I'm with it, man. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately, the problem is you have 4-player teams is the cap, and you have 7 classes to choose from. So usually there's going to be some outliers. Whenever that meta's formed, there's going to be like, okay, here's the 4 we want. You other guys, see ya. Luckily, we have speed metas and push metas, but I think it would be super hard to balance it to where all 7 of the classes had a damage build that was viable.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
We'll see, man. I mean, balance is tricky, and then balance in this game is especially tricky. I think that it seems like that's always been the struggle since day one.
Yeah.
I think so.
I mean, there's no question in Diablo in its current state is more balanced than it's ever been. 100%.
Yeah. I think the 2.6 was the start. 2.6.1 was a great start. 2.6.4 is another great change to that. I think the power creep in 2.6.4 was pretty heavy, man. I think and we all knew it was going to be strong, and I think it's made this season super exciting for me. Like Impale is so powerful and it's fun to play. Once it gets old in a couple weeks, though, it's going to be like, okay, that was a huge power creep. Now what are we going to do? Because I don't think you can continue that.
Right.
So that makes me nervous.
Yeah, I'm hopeful that maybe so like Impale is insane in that mid range. Like nothing can compete, like we talked about last week. So I'd love to see them add maybe speed focused items into the game. Like Ingyam, I think was the best add on to Diablo. Period. Like Ingyam is the best fucking item. Period. And so like class specific kind of speed focused items. I would love that. And maybe even eventually, speed focused items that work with like every set. That'd be really, really cool. So, and maybe
that would be awesome.
Then they could maybe something could compete with Impale. So,
yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah. I still think there's a lot of potential for the lawn sets to come out and we'll see things.
Yeah, for sure.
That we haven't seen.
And that's cool too, because like we're 2 weeks in, and we still, I don't feel like we have a firm grasp, really, even on the XP meta still.
Yeah, I'm not even full ancient on my Impale, and I've got a lot of time on it. Yeah. Comparatively, especially compared to like a casual player. Yeah. And I'm still missing 3 or 4 ancient pieces even. So, but it's crazy. Yeah, crazy powerful.
So I'm excited to see what happens by the end of the season.
Or me too.
One of the two.
I kind of like the Rourke buff so much that I don't want the season to end in 2 months.
What are you playing that's really benefiting from the Rogue buff? Aren't you playing DH?
I think it's just cool for everybody in general. Yeah. It's like, you got the Meteor can get the Endless Walk set, and, with the Demon Hunter, you can throw in the Mage Fist for UE, and just all the different things you can throw in. So it's cool. And I don't have time to play everything I want to play. I don't think. Like, I really want to play Charge Barb, but I'm having a lot of fun on Demon Hunter, so I'm holding off. So, but I know this is the season to play Charge Barb if I want to play it. This is the season.
You're gonna hate it next
to do
season.
it.
Yeah.
So it's like I need to, I need to get that done. So I kind of want a couple extra weeks on this season, but if we don't get it, it's all good. As long as next season theme is good, then we'll forget about it. But if next season theme sucks, we're gonna be like, dude, can we please get the Rourke buff back?
Right. Honestly,
what if they made it permanent? What if they made it permanent?
I mean,
it's hard. They're essentially eliminating an item from the game, though.
I think what Rourke buff identifies is maybe a flaw in builds. Like, so Charge Barb, for example, like it's fun, everyone loves it because you can wear Band of Might. Well, maybe, Charge Barb should be just like slightly more tanky, like on its own. Like, I don't know. Is it Raycore that doesn't have damage mitigation, or is it? I don't even know. Like some sets still don't have like damage mitigation. Like, and that's crazy.
You can get it through skills, but they pigeonhole you into those skills. Right. Like you could take Wrath of the Berserker and then take the 50% damage reduction from that or whatever. I don't know, man. I think that especially in this balance patch, they buffed damage but didn't touch toughness for anything really.
I think one of the things that they sided on with Necro was like 2-piece, do something weird, 4-piece mitigation, 6-piece damage, and the fact that some classes still don't have mitigation on 4-piece is like crazy.
Yeah, like Natalia's. Yeah. Natalia's is so garbage until you get the 6. So, I'm with you, man. I think that they needed not just add zeros, but they needed to take a look at damage and legendaries and skills and just do a full rebalance. But this is exciting. At least the season's still fresh for me, so I'm happy for it.
Yeah.
So switching gears just a little bit because we got some other things. Last week we talked about the rider position, the lore position coming up, and so the lead rider. Sebastian Stefan, I think is how you pronounce it. I'm not sure. The lead writer of Cyberpunk 2077 joined Blizzard for an unknown project, which was interesting.
Yeah, it's like we saw that position pop how's up. That game still not like in development? Isn't it? It's not out, right?
I'm assuming the story's written and he's done, so he can just go join Blizzard. I don't know. I mean, I would think the games are launching soon. Maybe Blizzard offered him some big monies. I don't know what happened, but we don't know how good Cyberpunk is. We don't know how good the story is. Everybody's hype about it. It looks like it's going to be awesome. The trailer looks amazing, but Blizzard snagged up a writer, and we don't know what he's working on.
So this confirms Diablo 4 Cyberpunk.
Diablo 4 2077.
We were
Diablo
talking
in
about
the
this,
future.
man, in the stream. I was like, how dope would an ARPG be that was like Final Fantasy VII? Final Fantasy VII, the ARPG. And it's like, it's, you know,
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII is cyberpunk. Like, it is.
Or a futuristic ARPG like Blizzard joked around with was it Starblow or Starblow?
Yeah.
I mean, that could be the name of a movie too. But Starblow would be cool, you know. I don't know.
More hype for Final Fantasy VII, but
I would be too. I mean, I'm a huge Final Fantasy VII fan.
But everything in Final Fantasy VII was like geared towards like a good ARPG. I feel like because you got like materia, you got like.
I'm down. It seems like all the ARPGs focus on this medieval style, like, you know, kind of thing, and it'd be cool to see something in the non-medieval realm. I guess I didn't play Last Ark enough. That doesn't seem too medieval-ish from the looks of it.
Last Epoch, Lost Ark. Yeah.
Yeah,
People get
I'm
those
blurring them
confused all
together.
the time.
Yeah. And I didn't play it. I can't wait till it comes out though.
Yeah.
So, and then in other news, you know, Path of Diablo.
Yeah, so this is weird. So Path of Diablo got on Reddit and they're like, "Hey, dudes, like, there's an exploit right now that's allowing people to like crash our servers, and you know, it's causing rollbacks and disruption, and it just leads to bad player experience." So he's like, "I'm going to take it down." You know, like if these players, it's kind of like taking it down because, you know, he wants to fix it, but also taking it down to like be like, okay, you guys want to do that? Like, no one wins, you know, because now I have to take down the game.
Right.
But, you know, throughout the post, he was actually like, people reached out to him, like, I guess immediately, and like, hey, man, I can help. Like, what do you need? And like, he's able to get like some help and get a fix rolling, and they were able to get it back up within like a day because of the help.
Yeah.
But,
and the cool thing is they can figure out who did it and ban them too. So it's just like, you know, F you. So it's crap, man. Crappy people doing crappy things. So, but it also gives it, you know, when things like that happen, it allows good people to shine too. And like, hey, man, I got you.
And especially something like this, you know? Like it's Path of Diablo. Like it's, you know, just this guy that's made a mod, and like, why would you even want to crash the guy's server? Like, he's doing like the work of the people, you know? Like, it's just crazy. Yeah. It's crazy to me when people like DDoS game companies at all. It's just
yeah, we haven't had a DDoS. Do you remember the Christmas we had? Was it 2015 or 16 when they, you know, Lizard Squad DDoSed PlayStation and Xbox, and their stores were down? So I'm sure, you know, the audience will remember this, but I think it was 15, and I got my son a PlayStation 4 for Christmas, and the day before Christmas, they started DDoSing Microsoft and Sony, and they literally took down the PlayStation Network and Xbox Live for like 3 or 4 days. And so everybody that got PlayStations and Xbox couldn't play that shit.
That's stupid.
And it was horrible, man. Like, I'm sitting there, my son's sitting there, he was like, you know, 10 or 11 at the time, and he's got this fucking PlayStation sitting there, just can't play it, can't download games, can't create an account, can't do anything with it. It was just a brick, you know. So it kind of sucks that the consoles are that dependent on the internet now, you know?
Yeah. I mean, what's not dependent on the internet, you know?
Right.
Look,
yeah.
I remember just like, was it 2 years ago? Like when Amazon got their like kind of really bad first DDoS. It was like, it shut down my work's like website and everything. It's like, fuck.
It's crazy. Yeah. Combating a DDoS would be a nightmare, man. Working in IT, it's just like, oh boy. So that's, you know, there's also a list of lore for all the mobs.
This guy, like, I just wanted to like kind of, it doesn't have a ton of views, but like, you know, if you're super in the Diablo lore, like, this is juicy as F, right? Because it's like the guy goes into, in this video, he goes into the lore of like every mob you run into. So if you just like want to nerd out for half an hour, I personally, like, you know, you guys know I don't really care about lore, but I thought it was worth mentioning this guy.
I'm not a huge lore nut either, but
so
every now and then it's like, you know, when a new game comes out, for example, every expansion that comes out on WoW, I always am like, okay, let me refresh my memory on the actual story because I'm usually just, how do I get this gear? And I'll go watch the lore video. And when Diablo 4 comes out someday, maybe, I'd be interested to watch a lore video from start to finish of the Diablo history just to refresh my mind. Because in all honesty, man, I haven't played the campaign in D3 in 6 years.
Yeah.
5 years. I don't even remember the details that much.
It's almost like campaigns don't matter.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, it's interesting because like how many times have you sat there and you see like a mob type and you're like, man, like what? Like who thought of like this shit? Like what is the even like what? Why? Why am I fighting?
That's cool. And then just from a content creator perspective, the amount of effort that goes into something like that is pretty big.
Yeah.
So it's really cool that he took the time to make that.
Sure.
So it's a lot of work to produce something like that. So hats off, man. Good job.
Yeah.
And then I kind of thought this was interesting. Like we were just talking about consoles a little bit, and GameStop. So GameStop lost $550 million in Q3 2018. Or not 500 million. They lost $500 million, which is insane. That's a pretty big loss, man. That's a huge loss. They're like the last big retailer left. What other game stores can you even think of out there? Like there are none by me.
None.
There are none.
Yeah.
So my Google Maps isn't updated because I needed to get, man, what was I looking for? I was looking for my daughter wanted some Pokemon game on 3DS last Christmas. And so I was trying to find it. And then, I Google Maps like game stores because GameStop didn't have it. And it showed one next to me, and I'm like, oh, sweet. I hopped in the car and I drove down there. Man, that shit was so closed. Like, you couldn't even tell it used to be there,
Oh, fuck.
And so it made me start thinking, like, I mean, Walmart sells some games.
Yeah, Best Buy.
And Best Buy sells some games. But GameStop's kind of it, man. There's no Slacker, at least by me anymore. There's no EB Games, I think, was bought out. So if GameStop's losing... that's $2 billion a year if they keep that trend. If they're losing $500 million a quarter, they're not going to stay in business very long.
Yeah. But I mean, when you posted this to the schedule, I was like, man, when was the last time I even went to a GameStop? Like, I can't remember the last time I bought a physical copy of a game. Period.
I have just Christmas shopping for my kids though, because it's easier.
Yeah. You get something to wrap.
It was
sure.
Yeah, it was easier for me to go get physical copies than like when am I going to hand them a gift certificate that you put in the digital store,
right. That's less.
So I personally got them physical copies of a couple games, and then.
But did you go to GameStop or did you just order them on Amazon?
Both actually. So I ordered. GameStop had the best deals this Christmas for consoles. Like my son wanted his own Switch, so I got him a Switch. But if you got the Switch on GameStop, they gave you a $50 gift certificate. So like nobody else matched that. Amazon didn't do that. Nobody else did that. So I got that, and then I got an extra PlayStation in PlayStation VR, and GameStop had bundles and deals where you got Call of Duty and all this other stuff for free. So the reason that I shopped at GameStop was because of their promos. It wasn't because they were convenient. It was because they had the best deals.
Right.
But we lived in the time. $500 million, man.
Yeah, we lived in the time though that like you remember like we had to go to GameStop and like
it was Toys R Us when I was a kid. Do you remember Toys R Us?
Nah, I didn't.
It was Toys R Us, man, and yeah, I still remember.
I kind of missed like you would go like for Halo, you'd wait in line. Halo 2 like was a huge launch, and like everyone was waiting in line and. I would go in line and be like, "Oh my god, Special K," and it's like,
the last the last line I got in for a video game was Wrath of the Lich King for World of Warcraft.
I was in line for that too.
It did a midnight launch, I believe.
Yeah.
I think it was midnight. It was so long ago, but I remember waiting in line and talking to the guys around me, and just remember thinking that they were like super nerd. I was like, damn, dude.
God
I'm like,
damn.
I'm a nerd because I play WoW and
Yeah,
I'm in a
yeah.
line at midnight, but you guys are next level shit, you know.
Yeah.
So it was fun though, man. It was those things had some kind of cool factor about them, like it's a story to tell.
Yeah.
There's always a story every time I did that. And then, but yeah, man, that was the last line, and Toys R Us, like, so the very first time I remember being super excited to get a game was Turtles 2, the arcade game when it came out on NES. And my dad drove me to Toys R Us, and I just remember that experience, man, of, grabbing the little piece of paper out and taking it to him and getting the game.
Let me ask you
No
this.
more, man.
Like, this is going to jump forward, but it completely lines up with what we're talking about. Like, I was talking with a buddy, and I don't keep track of like media and stuff like that, but like, why are games still $60? You know? Like, games have been $60 for a really long time.
Yeah, and that's a good thing, I think.
Yeah,
because
no,
they
it
should have
is.
gone up.
I'm not saying it's not.
know?
But like, why?
I think they try to sneak in the extra money with like these $100 special editions. That seems to be the thing now, right? It's like, we'll give you the season pass and if a free cosmetic if you buy the gold edition or the extra. But yeah, I don't know, man. I know when I bought Turtles 2, the arcade game, it was $39.99, and I was, God, I don't know. That was in the 80s, right? So it was $40 in the 80s. And games are $60 now, 20, 30 years later.
I want to say
That's
that when
insane.
Xbox One first came out, there were some games that were like $69.99. There must be some like science. It's like, no, like $60 is like what people are willing to spend. And going over that,
Yeah.
it's just like, no.
That'd be interesting to do some
Yeah.
research and see, because I'm sure there's got to be some articles on
Yeah.
that, and people have done some research. But yeah, it's interesting, man, because if you look at inflation historically,
Yeah.
games cost so much more to produce now than they ever have.
Right.
And then on top of costing more to produce, the price hasn't gone up.
Yeah.
I mean, we paid the same amount. Were games $60 in the early 2000s? I want to think that they were 49, and they've had like a $20 jump in the last 15 years, but maybe I'm wrong on that.
Right.
But
But I just thought that was
I don't know. Would you pay more? Would you pay more for a game? $60 is a price point that I honestly have to really be stoked about the game to buy it. I'll wait till it goes on sale.
But that's
personally.
me. Like, I have bought like 3 games in like 2 years. Like, I don't play. I don't like branch out a lot. So it's like, I mean, would I have paid? I mean, obviously I would have paid more for Diablo. We tell them every week that we have money for them. But
Yep.
I mean, $60
Blizzard,
just
do you
feels
want
right,
free
I
money?
guess. I was just like, why, that's just something I was thinking about.
It's like with all the games that are coming up now, like there's a lot that I want to play, and if they go on sale, I'll pick them up. But at $60 price point, I just can't justify buying that many. Like Spider-Man on PlayStation, I want to play it. Kingdom Hearts 3 came out today, and I really want to play it. But at the same time, it's like I don't $60 want to play it. I like $30 want to play it.
Right.
Anthem.
Name your
Anthem
price.
came out. Yeah, I know. Anthem came out, and that's 60. I got that, and I got Division 2. So I got Division 2 and Anthem. That's $120 right there. That's kind of like, okay, that's all the money.
And
I'm
it's
gonna
kind of
blow
like for
on
the
video
same
games.
game type too. So it's like, ooh,
Yeah.
you're basically
Yeah.
you're kind of
So-
locking in. Like, I'm gonna play one or the other. Probably, I'm gonna like. one
Yeah,
or
I'm
the
gonna
other.
play one or the other, but I have them both in case they're both kind of good, and I'll flip flop. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Kingdom Hearts would be great. Spider-Man would be great. There's more titles that I can't
Yeah.
think of right now that I would love to pick up. So
tell us about Anthem while we're on the subject, dude.
okay, so yeah, so let's start with the VIP demo was last week.
And that's for people
And-
that bought it.
That's for people who pre-ordered,
Okay.
or I guess if you're like a big enough content creator, you probably got hooked up as well.
Yeah, they sent me.
And
like
then
10 copies.
this coming week is the open demo for everybody. So if you're listening to this podcast and it's before February the 1st, that's when the demo starts. February 1st, you can get in that. So the VIP demo, I pre-ordered the game, and I didn't have access to the pre-order demo, to the VIP demo. I tweeted the support. I tweeted a bunch of game devs, I emailed their support. I posted on their forum. I did every kind of contact method you could possibly do to be like, yo, it tells me I don't have access. Here's a screenshot of my game in my library, and then the screenshot of it saying I don't have access. You know, it's like you must pre-order the game.
You couldn't have been the only one, right?
I'm like, yeah, exactly, right? And so I'm like, explain to me how I can have it in my library, but I don't have it, you know. So they never, ever contacted me back by any method. But luckily, my community hooked me up with the key anyways.
Yeah,
so,
but like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so I'm out there thinking like, there's got to be more people like me that are just like, the fuck, you know?
Reddit screaming?
Yeah, something, man. So anyway, so that was the start. It had a very rocky launch, obviously, and people are shouting out all kinds of things like, you know, it was the worst launch ever. I'm like, dude, it's a demo launch. It's not their actual game.
Yeah, I did see a lot of that on Twitter. Like, people are like,
it's like, it's not, you gotta like,
another game that can't handle the day one.
It's like, dude, it's a demo, man.
It's day one.
And I honestly think that they were using it as a stress test on their servers. You know, they were guinea pigging with the demo, which is fine. Like, you know, who cares?
Sure.
So anyways, so then I got into the game and I started playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fun, man. The game, at first I was like, okay, you know, the shooting doesn't feel super rewarding and responsive. But then once I actually unlocked the different javelin, the javelins are the suits, the Iron Man suits.
Classes.
So I unlocked a different javelin called Storm. And once I unlocked the Storm javelin, I was like, oh shit, this is a lot of fun. So the default javelin to me didn't feel Iron Man-ish enough, and this one did. That being said, it feels very Iron Man-ish. You're hovering around in the air, shooting things and using your special abilities. And I guess it felt like a really pretty Warframe is the way. I don't know how else to explain it other than it's like a new version of Warframe with not as much complexity is kind of the way it felt. But I had fun, man. It was a good game. I can't tell if I'm going to love it or not yet. The demo. So it's like the way that I had to keep putting it in perspective is like we got to play a level 10 to level 15 character, which is like not like halfway of the max level.
Mm-hmm.
So think about if somebody gave you a level 15 demon hunter in Diablo.
That'd be pretty lame.
And they're like, here you go, man, try the game out. That's not what the game's like. That is a tech demo. Can my computer run the game? And like, this is the leveling process, you know?
So like you would see, is there like a skill tree? Like what's going on with that?
No, not necessarily. Most of your skills are items that drop and you equip them to give you skills.
Gotcha.
So it's, each class inherently has its own characteristics, but then you get these items and, like, let's say you have a special ability that's a frostbolt. Then you can get another ability that's like a lightning explosion and it completely replaces it. So, so far I didn't see any actual talent trees. The system seemed okay. It seemed pretty basic. It wasn't super complicated. It depends on how many items they put in the game too, though. You know? So,
yeah,
but it was cool, man.
I was watching.
Cool. Are you going to play the free demo? Are you going to play it this weekend?
I watched like DatMons play a little bit. I think he was playing the mage dude that you're playing. And, you know, I was immediately pretty bored watching it. And I watched some other guy. I don't remember who it was. But he's playing like the Titan, which is like the tank, I guess.
Yep.
And I was immediately bored. And then just at random, I was sitting eating my lunch while working on my house. And I saw like a Shroud video pop up. And he was playing like the really agile class. And he was just like flying around like crazy. I was like, okay, like I could do that. Like that would be okay. But
yeah, and I think the play styles of all three of the classes were very different. So I think that there's going to be a different play style for each kind of person. Just like, you know, Diablo has your different play styles. You know, you might hate Witch Doctor, but you love Crusader or vice versa.
Right.
I think it's going to have some of that. My biggest complaint with the game was camera shake. There was way too much camera shake to the point where you can't turn it off.
God damn.
I didn't like playing with it at all. And I really didn't like watching it did you see it on the video you have in the background? Just look for the camera shake now that I'm pointing it out. It's not fun to watch and it's not fun to play. And then also the guns didn't feel responsive. You didn't get good feedback from the guns when you shot them. And I don't really know how to describe it other than that. Like if you play Destiny or you play even like Borderlands or something, like there's kind of this feel, like this feedback you get when you shoot, and it felt it wasn't there. It was missing something. I don't know what, but it's missing a little bit of feedback on the weapons. So. But it's got potential, man.
So what's the best part about it?
I think graphically and just the concept in general of being like this vertical. It's got such a vertical play space that no game I've ever played has. It can go. It's a truly 4D play space. And like look at this Storm that you have in the video right now. He's up above everything fighting, and that's not something that you've ever really got to do in another game before. So as you're in these dungeons and in the strike, or I don't know what they called them in there, but not only do you have to worry about, you know, forward and backwards, but you have to go up and down to fight enemies and traverse the levels and stuff.
Sure.
And I think that was super cool, man. It was unique and different. Yeah. So
worst thing about
it. I'd have to say the camera shake, man. It just made it almost unplayable for me. I hated it. I actually hated it. So if they don't give a slider to take camera shake off, I would probably not play the game if you can't disable it. Hopefully there's some kind of hack to do. Yeah. But it's like I said, it's a demo, and I know they got a lot of feedback on that, so hopefully they address that.
Sure.
So, but yeah, I'm excited, man. So we'll have to, you know, hopefully you can get into it this weekend a little bit and get some thoughts on it. Maybe. So, we're going to do some Twitter questions
before then.
I know it seems like you have. So I'm going to go ahead for you. And I get a lot in my stream. People are like, where's Fluff? Where's Fluff? Where's Fluff?
Oh my God.
And I'm like, I haven't talked to him in a week, guys, but it's all house woes. So, you know, he's not burned out. He doesn't hate streaming all of a sudden. It's just house stuff, man.
I'm cursed with bad luck. So I got a brand new house, just a quick TLDR. And just like every day, just discovering something's wrong. Something wasn't done right. Something, you know, took a shortcut, big surprise, you know, and it's like now there's, you know, damage and And so like, you know, I'm covered in drywall dust right now, trying to repair some of it. And it's just a mess. There's just not enough time in the day to, like, I'm glad I'm not even working right now. And I'm literally just like still like sunrise, sundown. I'm just working on my stupid house. Like, it's stupid.
So soon. It'll be back in the grind soon, man. A couple weeks, it'll be fixed. You'll be over it and moving on. Before we do the Twitter questions, Super Bowl predictions. And in case you don't know who's playing, I'm going to throw it out there anyways. The Rams and the Patriots are playing. Super Bowl predictions. What? This is going somewhere.
Sports ball?
Sports ball.
Is that which one? What's American football? Which one is that? I got to go with the
orange ball.
Touchdown Tom.
In the hole. Touchdown Tom. All right, you're gonna go with inappropriate kiss Brady.
I don't even know who they're playing. I only know that. Have you? I watched one. So I watched one game, the Chiefs game. Okay, because I'm from Kansas City, and my neighbors were watching it, who are my real life friends, and I was like, sure, I'll go and hang out. My first game I watched in over a decade of football.
10 years?
Oh, wow. Yeah. Because there's like times they were calling rules, and I'm like, you can't do that because the NFL's changed, I guess. But yeah, it's just like, it's what I remember, and so I couldn't even tell you. And so that's the only reason I know the Patriots are in, because you know they were playing the Chiefs.
Yeah,
so I don't know who's on the other side.
So this is going somewhere though. Okay. So the Super Bowl predictions are leading into. There have been, and I want your thoughts on this. So this is the second time Twitch has pre-roll and post-roll and mid-roll ads that feature another content creator during content blocks of content creators. Now, I tweeted something out about this because of my opinions, and I'm going to get to my thoughts on it too. But I'm curious.
I haven't seen them.
You know what I'm talking about, though.
So they did a Ninja ad for New Year's. Is that right?
Ninja ad for New Year's,
and then they did Pokemon now, I guess, for
Pokemon for
Super Bowl
the
stuff?
NFL.
Okay,
Super Bowl stuff. Yep.
Have they done it again, or is that?
That's it so far.
You know, honestly, I don't really care. I mean, it's gonna sound weird, but it's just like my viewers or it gets, or especially our audience as Diablo streamers in particular.
Yeah.
We're not really in threat of losing our viewers to like Fortnite streamers or female IRL, whatever I'm sorry, but I'm not. I don't really care. But
yeah. So my thoughts are almost the same, except for the fact that this could eventually translate to us. And it's like, I'm not super threatened because my audience is going to watch who they want to watch anyways. Like that's kind of the way I think you have to look at it, is your audience is going to watch who they find entertaining. And if they're watching somebody else, it's because they think they're more entertaining than you at that moment, or maybe always. I don't know. So I'm not super threatened, but at the same time, I kind of think it's a little scumbaggish. It's kind of like Twitch is promoting the biggest streamers again and saying, hey, on everybody on the platform stream, they're saying, hey, come watch this guy. Don't watch who you normally watch, but come watch this person. And so it kind of does rub me the wrong way, and I completely understand why everybody would get a little butthurt about it. But so the funny thing is so I tweeted out about it. I'm like at Twitch and like, hey, Twitch, it kind of sucks when you're pre-rolling other people during my time slot or whatever. And not that they listened to me, but I'm sure a lot of people did. And then so they actually sent us, did you see your email? They sent the, I don't know if it's all content creators or if it's your partner thing or whatever. I didn't
read it, but I got it, yeah.
Yeah, but they sent us a thing and they basically apologized and like, hey, we know this is the second time we've done this. We're sorry. In the future, we're going to pre-screen our ads and this and that. So I think they might have got the message because people got pissed off enough about it. But
what is it different though? Isn't like, so Ninja, didn't Ninja pay for his own, I think? Like he paid Twitch to run ad. I want to say that that's the case. So it's a little different, I think, because I guess Pokimane like is working
NFL
for something.
Paid for hers.
Yeah. And so it's like they
for sure.
Yeah. And then I think Ninja like actually is like, well, I'm just gonna advertise on Twitch, and paid it for advertising.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's interesting though. So it just something to throw in there because I know the Super Bowl is this coming. We won't have another podcast before it since it's Sunday. And I just wanted to throw that out there.
I think the Super Bowl will be featuring ads of my stream. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Yep. I'm gonna try to get some snuck in there too.
A couple bucks. Yeah.
It's $1 million for a 30-second spot, so not that bad. We can pull that off.
Sure.
But let's get into some Twitter questions, man.
Let's do it. We got
a bunch of questions this week. Yeah, man, we got a bunch this week, so that's awesome. So this
Keep
is
coming.
Like I said, one of my favorite sections of the podcast. And if you guys want to submit your questions, you can tweet at me at ThaPChild. You can tweet at Lord Fluffy, Lord__ Fluffy, or join our Discords. The link will be in the YouTube description below. But the first question comes from Eddie, and Eddie says, if you could play one class for the rest of Diablo, but you got new sets / changes every other season, what would you choose? What class would you choose?
I mean, is this a question? Yeah,
for you it's Necro. You don't even have to ask that. I would think I would pick Barb. Honestly, man, I haven't played Barb a lot in the recent year and a half, but I only played Barb through vanilla. Like that was it. And it's kind of my favorite if I had to pick. So Red Bull,
it would have been my pick before Necro. Would be Barb.
Yeah, it's Barb for me. Red Pool Dead says, "What's your favorite dad joke?"
I mean, I don't know if it's a dad joke.
I don't think I know a dad joke.
One of my favorites, like I don't know a lot of jokes offhand, but the one that's what do you call a fish with no eyes?
I don't know. That's funny. I honestly can't think of any off the top of my head, and I know some.
You're a dad. What the fuck?
Oh, the only jokes I know are inappropriate. Okay. So
that's not a dad joke.
Not a dad joke. So yeah, I don't know, man. I guess I don't have a go-to
dad game, dude.
I'm sorry. I work on it. I'm Sad Panda says, what quality of life change would you like to see in D3? Example, pets picking up gold. Well, funny thing you should ask, I'm Sad Panda, because that's the Twitter poll, or the poll for the podcast next week.
Well,
kind of. It's quality of life, I guess.
Like purchasable items, yeah.
Quality of life could mean other things too.
Sure,
so,
what is yours?
I don't know.
I already know.
I already know what yours is going to be too. I'm not sure. I'm not. If we're specifically saying quality of life, there's so many that I want. Stash space is high on my list, though. Leaderboard filters, I know that's going to be yours, is high on my list.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I honestly
don't know.
like leaderboard filter would make the biggest impact on the game of all the quality of life things out there. I think it would, to be the biggest. But.
Yeah, I think it would bring diversity to the game because people are going to play other sets than they normally play. You know, and they might get exposed to builds they wouldn't normally see too. So, yeah, those two. Stash base would be cool though.
Yeah.
Demonic Grizz asked, "What is the one video game you would play, or what's the one video game you play if people knew they would say, 'Oh my God, I never thought you'd play that game'?" So what's an embarrassing video game or a "Oh my God, you play that game"?
I mean, it's not a video game, but I played like Yu-Gi-Oh, the card game.
Okay. All right.
Like I would go wreck on some kids, at some tournaments and stuff.
That's interesting. AF.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. That's a great one, man. Oh man, we could have a whole conversation on that. So, I played Magic a very little bit many years ago, just with buddies because I was bored.
Sure.
But I never really got into it. As far as the one game, so I am a JRPG sucker. I love me some JRPGs. Persona is probably one of my favorites.
Persona.
The series. So I'd have to say that that's probably up there on my list of games that, I mean, it's kind of a little popular, I guess, ish. 5 did pretty well. So yeah.
Right on.
I'm gonna go with that. Any JRPGs, man. If you name it, I've probably tried it at some point. S John 03 says, "What's the epic backstory of Lord Fluffy meeting the ThaPChild?"
Well, we're both serving time back in early 2000s. There isn't one, really.
No. We just kind of met.
I was the only person that didn't ignore him.
Yeah. No, I would say so. In all reality, I think that the Diablo 3 community hasn't been in a great spot the last couple of years because of the lack of updates. I feel like, and people have been leaving. The bigger streamers have been leaving, and it seemed like there's a closed circle of people that it's hard to kind of break the barrier and get them to open up to you. And Fluff is one of the few people that was actually kind when I first approached him, and when I first talked to him, he wasn't like, he didn't give me the vibe of F this guy. He was kind of like, "What up, dude?" And I think that, and that's always been my attitude too. Whereas, I try and genuinely think that I'm a nice person, and I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" And I, try to be nice to all content creators and viewers and all that kind of stuff. So, so Fluff was cool, man. So I think the first interaction I had, Fluff hosted me, and then so the next day I messaged him and I was like, "What up, dude? Thanks for the host," and kind of started a conversation, and then we became buddies over the course of time. I returned favors when I could host him back, and he hosted me. And one day I was like, "Yo, dude, let's do a podcast," and that was kind of the start. So,
and I've been wanting to do one for a really long time before that.
Yeah. So it just turned out that he was down to do the podcast, and I was super ecstatic, man. I think we both kind of were like, "Oh, okay.
Let's do this. Let's do it. How do we do it?
Let's do it." Yeah. So then it was, to be honest with you guys, like getting the podcast started was, God, it took us weeks to actually like, okay, we got to think of a name. We got to test the technology. What technology are we going to use? Are we going to do an interface? And like, how are we going to do this? The sound quality sounds like shit. How can we fix this?
Like, should we put it online? Like,
right, exactly. How are we going to handle the YouTube and like all that kind of stuff? So
it's still stuff.
It's kind of crazy,
like all the time.
So pretty cool. But that's kind of the story. It just organically happened, and I don't think either of us tried to really force it. We just got along, and that's really cool. So. And then Onion says, should there be a blood shard cap in Diablo? I've lost so many shards because of it.
I mean, I don't really see the point of it anymore. I wouldn't mind
Yeah.
seeing it go. I don't think that there's really.
I
I
don't
guess
know if
it's an
they're
incentive to push higher, but like I don't know. Why
if
do I
they
need that
yeah
incentive? I don't know.
if they took rid of the cap,
Took rid of the
what
cap.
would it change? If they took rid of the cap, I was thinking about
Yeah, I
this.
know.
If they got rid of if they got rid of the cap, what would it hurt? It wouldn't hurt anything.
No.
You know what I mean?
It'd just make it
It's
easier to
just-
like gear up other characters, which would be nice.
Yeah, you could just pool 50,000 blood
Right.
shards and then go instantly make whatever
Yeah.
set you wanted. Yeah, I'd be down. I think some of the quality of life changes that would remove restrictions that are set there to be like currency caps or new player barriers to slow progression down at this point are
Stupid.
yeah, they're past their prime.
Yeah.
Their reason for being in the game
Yeah.
isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there's virtually no progression in this game anymore. Like really. So.
no. Out for Blood says, "Do you guys have theories why season 16 is so short?"
I mean, we don't know that it's short because they always. Here's the thing. So season 14 was the first season they ever told us the end date, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they stuck to that one. Last season, I don't know if you guys followed, but yeah, they did. Last season, they were not close to
They
that
were
date
off a
at
couple
all.
months,
Yeah,
couple weeks. I mean,
so
Yeah.
we don't know. I mean, according to their date, it's going to be a short season, but in all likelihood, they'll probably just push it out.
I think the reason that it's going to be a short season is because they already have the content planned out. They already have the next seasonal theme planned out, and I don't think there's any announcement coming. I mean, BlizzCon was such a it lined up with the seasons.
Yeah.
So we had that prediction out there. D4 is going to launch. We're going to have some kind of lead up to it. There's going to be a season, or be announced, all this stuff. And then BlizzCon came and there was the heartbreak / travesty that was BlizzCon 2018.
That's great.
And
It's fun.
and then it just I have no expectations for anything at this point. Like,
They just beat us until we.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's like I submitted. I have. You can't get expectations any lower than I have. I expect 2.6.4 to last for another year. I expect the seasonal themes to be garbage. I don't even really care about Diablo Immortal. So when it comes out, I mean, it's cool. Hopefully it's awesome and stellar and it blows my mind, but I don't expect it, anything super good from it. So it's like I don't have anything left to lose at this point other than just play the game. And that's the sound of a broken man.
It is.
And I've come to this realization over the last 3 months since BlizzCon, because I think in my mind I wanted to justify and be like, BlizzCon was it wasn't that bad. It was cool because I spent so much money on it and I scheduled, vacation and like all these things to make that work. And, so when I came back, I wanted to be like, oh, it was awesome. Justify the money I spent. And it was awesome meeting content creators. It was cool meeting you.
Yeah.
It was cool meeting, Lady Giggles and
Sure.
all the other guys.
And I think honestly,
and
like
Dusky and all the
to talk
Wolfire
on that, it's like earlier you mentioned that like we kind of felt that maybe it was a little cliquey. And I think that being at BlizzCon definitely, I think it relieves some of that. People getting this people face to face.
I agree. I think it really did too. I think it did for sure. And people got to see like, oh, these guys,
right.
Even if they act a certain way on stream, they're actually normal people outside, and this and that. So it was cool, man. So that aspect of it was really awesome. I just can't tell you how much it was not worth the money for the actual content we got at BlizzCon.
Yeah.
Like, I can't describe. Like, we're talking like $1,100, $1,200. You know
More
what I mean?
than that. I mean, just for the cost of the trip was about that.
I mean, for what though? For what? To get to play Diablo Immortal demo.
I mean, for me, it's like I basically just paid to have,
and that's it.
25,000 subs on YouTube is what I paid for to like go ask. I mean, ultimately, if you break it down, I just paid for like some subs.
I didn't even get that. I didn't ask a cool question.
And you were in line. So you were in line behind me.
I got out of line because I couldn't think of anything nice to say, man. I really couldn't. And I'm like, I don't want to be that guy that shits on him. Although, I'm still not that guy. So I'm glad I didn't. But I don't know, man. So I guess we kind of side ranted on this for a little bit, but I don't know why the season's going to be short. I don't have any cool theories. I'm battered and broken. I enjoy the game that we have. I enjoy 2.6.4, but I have no theories, man. I think it's just.
I think it
is what extended.
It is. I don't feel like it'll hold. But that's just me.
I kind of feel that way too. I kind of hope it does too, to be honest. So
yeah, I mean, Season of Rogue has been obviously the coolest seasonal theme we've had so far. So
unless they give us something better, if they give us something better, then hey, cool.
But if we don't know what it is, right? Like, so if they announce season theme like next week, and it's like, oh yeah, I want to play that. Then you want it to end as fast as possible, but.
Yeah, if we get a cool PTR announcement or something.
Then if we get the season of COE next season, and I'm like, man, can we keep this Rorik season going? Please.
If we get COE, baby, it's going to be like, okay, well, Division 2's out, so sweet.
Can't wait to play that.
Can't wait to play Division 2. Skipper asked, what are your hopes for Blizzard in 2019? God, relating. What a great follow-up question.
Yeah.
New games, announcement, changes, or patches, etc. So 2019. All right. I am a big WoW fan. I've been a WoW fan for a long time. This latest expansion has not been enough to keep me interested in the game. I don't know if it's because I'm just growing as my game love for styles of games is growing away from MMO with the new genres that we have. But I want WoW to do something that pulls me back into it and makes me want to play it again. And I think a lot of people feel that way. So that's my hope. My hope is I don't have any hopes for Diablo in 2019. I just don't think it's going to happen. If anything Blizzard could do, World of Warcraft would be number one. And then I actually like Overwatch. I think Overwatch is a fun game to play. So if they did something cool for Overwatch, but I don't really know what they could do to that to get me excited, though. Like a new hero is not going to get me excited. It's got to be. I don't know what they could do.
I would really like to see so Overwatch like has a pretty solid like mechanics and like it can be fun, but it has such a heavy emphasis on team play that there's really nothing for you to do alone unless you're just
as a solo player you just go grind quick play and don't care if you win or lose. Hopefully, So I'm with you on that.
Maybe something there. So I don't know what that is, but.
They got some solid mechanics set up for shooting and hero abilities. Yeah. So it almost makes me wonder if they could adapt and make some PvE content for it. And I don't know, like I hate to say that because there's so many PvE looter shooters that are kind of in the works right now.
We say that, but really not. I mean, it's kind of like
Blizzard does a good job.
Someone said this, like I was watching like a clip from Dr. Disrespect, and people are like, oh, the BR market's so flooded. And he's like, what are you talking about? Like, there's like two, it's like PUBG, Fortnite, and fucking COD. Yeah, everything else is a joke. Like, so it doesn't really count. So,
yeah. So if, I think that they got some really cool things for PvE content that they can maybe do. But again, I think that's dreaming. I don't think that's ever going to happen, honestly.
I mean, for me,
I don't know. What do you got for 2019? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like I say all the time, like I'm not really that big of a Blizzard fan. I'm not a Blizzard fanboy. I've never cared about RTS games. I mean, Overwatch is okay, but I'd rather play a ton of other shooters that are out there. So to me, it's just like, please, Diablo, like just to either tell us what's going on with Diablo 3, like maybe tell us you've moved on or that you're actively working on Diablo 4 full time or whatever. Like, I just want to know what's going on this year and what can I expect from Diablo, because that's the only reason.
And see, like Anthem got announced. God, I've known about Anthem for a long time. It feels like now, at least over a year, and I've been so into every little bit of content I could get for Anthem. And to be honest, man, the demo was slightly less it was a little underwhelming compared to what my expectations were, but I had crazy expectations for the game.
Sure.
And I don't care. I'm glad that they told us a year ago. I'm glad that they made the announcement, hey, we're not going to do PvP because we can't do it at the moment. You know, like I'm okay with all those things they said. And I really wish Blizzard would go to more of that style of, I don't care if you announce, what was the Titan game they announced? Titan something. No, not Titanfall. Wasn't there, what Overwatch became?
Yeah.
Project Titan.
Yeah, Project
something.
Titan.
I don't know. Project Titan or something like that. I don't care if you announce a game and then you have to cancel it or you have to push it back.
Yeah.
Just, I guess, tell us. But David had some good counter arguments to that when we had him on the podcast too. So I don't know, man. Like he kind of talked about it, and I'm not going to rehash everything, but his perspective was definitely different. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. I could see why you do that. So if you guys want to hear some interesting stuff, man, you should check out that episode if you missed it, because it's cool to see another point of view on that. The last question we have for the night comes from Fry. Okay. And Fry said, last I checked, Necro's top greater rift is 4 lower than the other classes, the next class. Did they over nerf / over buff other classes but not Necro?
I don't think so. I don't think that anything is like overpowered. I mean, we've talked that like DH in the mid range is performing like crazy, and Tel Rasha Meteors, it's OP right now. Maybe could use a small nerf, but I don't think that anything's like wow, like this is just completely out of control.
I think Necro needs love for sure.
Yeah,
but
I don't think that there's any question going into the season that like, okay, you look at and just look at the patch notes. You know, it's like Necro got a Tragul insignificant change, and like that's it. So I mean, Necro's underperforming compared to everything else, but compared to where Necro's at, it's fine, right? Like,
we talked about it before, and Necro is their only paid DLC character. It's gonna get buffed again. It's not gonna sit like this for a year. I can't imagine it does. If it does, that's just again another poor decision on Blizzard's part, because I would think they like money, you know. So
and that would only further emphasize that it's my fault, you know. Shouldn't ask that damn question.
All you guys in the PTR that pushed in his wave of light and got that stuff nerfed.
But look who's at the top of the leaderboard.
Not in his wave of light.
Didn't we just go over
That's
that?
It's the top monk set, but it's only a 117. It's still 3.
Is it in his wave of light though? Or is it in his something else?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's in his wave of light. See, it's fine, dude. Yeah. It's fine.
Oh man, I'm just giving the communities a hard time. So, I'm pretty happy with this patch. I think it went a long ways. And then if 2 months we get some new patches, awesome. Then I'm happy. So, that's all the questions that we have today, guys. If there were more questions that got submitted too late, I didn't get them. I'll pick them up next week, and you can submit your questions to me at ThaPChild on Twitter or at Lord__Fluffy. Drop them in our Discord. We probably won't get them out of the YouTube section. There's just too much PoE talk in there these days.
It's slowing down. It's slowing down.
But that's it, man. So thank you guys for tuning in for episode 37. You can find me at ThaPChild on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, pretty much everywhere. And I'll be streaming live as soon as the podcast is over.
Yeah. You guys can find me at the usual places. Like we plugged it like 3 times this podcast. All right. Anyways, guys, we'll see you guys next week. I am not going to stream because, you know, look at me, man. I need a shower. I need some sunlight. I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully. Anyways, dudes, we'll see you.